Welcome to ceointronet. I'm your host, Theresa Kroelinger. I'm joined here today by three businessmen who are going to share a conversation with me on trends in business outsourcing. Let's meet our guests.
Hi, I'm Chet Riddick, President and CEO of Alpha Enterprise Group, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Good afternoon. I'm Bob Guillocheau, President and CEO of Ascensus, headquartered in Dresher, Pennsylvania.
Hello, I'm Harold Epps, President and CEO of PRWT Services, headquartered in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
So, gentlemen, as far as trends in business outsourcing, certainly organizations are trying to maximize their profits and go as lean as they possibly can to do better. What are your thoughts on trends in business outsourcing? What are you seeing? And I'm going to start with you.
Well, we're seeing that corporations are looking at their internal core competencies and understanding that it's easier to outsource those things that aren't within their core competencies. So it's a more profitable thing for organizations to move out of their organizations what they don't do good at, and then outsource it to those companies that do great things in those particular areas that they're outsourcing.
Yeah. What are some challenges that we find with outsourcing? I'm actually going to tag you in on this one.
Well, I mean, I think one of the things I think organizations need to understand is the cultural aspects of it. So I think, behind, I believe, every good company and successful company, you have to have a really strong corporate culture. And I think it's important, if you are going to outsource, to select a provider that will be a very, very good cultural fit and will, understand what drives success for your organization, so that they in turn can step into your shoes, can interact with your clients or interact with your employees in a manner that reflects well upon your organization.
Absolutely, because you want them to be integrated with your company, even though they are a separate company. It's like they're a right arm of you as well.
Absolutely.
What is your experience with business outsourcing?
Well, a lot of our company is directly in that business, and what we're finding now is, for a lot of reasons, at least in North America, people are looking at returning jobs to our shores that were historically offshore. One reason is that in a lot of countries, their costs are rising. Number two, we've moved so much offshore that the level of customer satisfaction had diminished to the breaking point. And number three, the recession really forced people to think about good business practice and where the best place is to get quality delivery service and employment for our citizens. And as a result of all that, more opportunity is being provided to companies like ours to have an opportunity to participate in the business. And as Chet said, more companies are focused on their core competencies, therefore, right now, offshoring. The business of providing opportunity is increasing, and in fact, the issue of growth is rising at a pretty phenomenal clip right now.
Well, based on your experience, there's obviously some wins that are involved with doing this. You're going to get some benefits from it. What are some lessons learned along the way that you could share with an organization that might be considering doing some outsourcing? And I'm going to tag any one of you in on that. Whoever wants to jump in first.
I'll jump in. The planning is important by the present provider as to what they're looking to accomplish. And as discussed previously, the impact of transformation to a provider needs to be understood as the impact it's going to have on the culture. Because the existing employees are going to be affected one way or the other. And they need to understand what's in it for them in order for them to be willing participants in the new model. We find that being the biggest impediment to the transition and the biggest impediment to success, because the employees that are presently doing the work can impede the progress or destroy it if they choose to.
Yeah. Other lessons learned, and thank you, lessons learned and best practices from your experience, Bob.
Yeah, I think Harold raises an excellent point. I mean, it really is the preparation up front that is critically important. And I think that for the organization that is choosing to outsource, our business is as an outsourcer. We're the nation's largest provider of 401k services, and large financial institutions, select us and they move the processing over to us. And I think oftentimes people look at outsourcing as simply a cost savings move. But I think it really, it can really be a true investment. Every day, to Chet's point, the 1,200 associates of Census get up every day thinking about servicing 401k plans. You know, one of our clients, you know, might be a big money management firm that may today be providing 401k services, but they're really in the business of managing money. So they're not getting up, and so we have 1,200 people that are focused on building the right technologies and building the right capabilities to service those retirement plans in a fashion that should make our business partner really proud.
Right.
And I think that you shouldn't go into that on a defensive, oh, we're doing it just simply to save money, or we're getting out of the business, but rather we're making a substantial investment to provide better services to our clients. And I think that that is oftentimes overlooked when people are considering outsourcing.
So it sounds to me like communication with your current employees is a huge factor in making this be successful for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As well as clients, depending on what type of function you're.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to tag you in on this. As far as your experience with this, what are some lessons learned and best practices that you would give?
Well, I'm going to dovetail on both what both gentlemen have just said this evening in terms of outsourcing. It has a lot to do with culture. It has a lot to do with understanding the client's needs, and also the client understanding the capabilities of the company that is performing the outsourcing functions. It's important that those things are married together extremely well. Because in today's business time, et cetera, companies cannot afford to do it wrong. They only get one shot. When you go through a lengthy implementation, it's a lot of cost involved in the implementation. And both companies have to really understand each other extremely well, the cultures of each other. I think that was covered extremely well earlier in terms of the value of having good culture in the organizational implementation portion of it, and as well as the delivery of the product. So you just can't be in the outsourcing business and not provide a good service. You must provide a good service to the client. The client must understand it. They must be able to write about it. They must be able to communicate it and understand it, and be able to show folks in their organizations, in terms of their boardrooms, that it makes good sense to outsource.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, thank you for sharing your insights on this important topic. And I think we've learned a lot of best practices, lessons learned, and things that we want to do in terms of business outsourcing. And thank you for visiting us here at CEO Internet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.